So welcome everybody to Australian Hypnosis Conference. Now I'm today here with Sarah Ann. Now Sarah Ann has got something that's really, really good and it is part of our future. So Sarah Ann, your topic is how not to become redundant in a world of AI. Number one, tell us who you are. And number two, tell us more about this topic.
Amazing. Super excited. My name is Sarah Ann. I am author of Million Dollar Groups, and we teach coaches how to build communities, which is exactly how to not become redundant in a world of AI. The more there is content online where everything is created by AI, everything is perfect, there's a little bit more of a disconnect, the more we want humanness. How do we bring the humanness back into what we're doing? How do we bring the humanness back into our businesses, back into our online marketing? And well, for us, it's like coaching businesses, but if you're teaching, if you're a doctor or whatever, like how do you bring community into your business as well?
That actually, you've touched base on a really, really good point because AI is sure it's making things easier when we're searching on the internet or something like that. But do you believe, based on your experience, we genuinely need this human connection?
Yeah, 100%. I've actually found this year that it doesn't seem like people are any less interested in buying services, getting help, paying for coaching or programs or support than before, even though all the information is available by AI. It seems like people are still just as willing to pay for those things and wanting to pay for those things. However, it's really hard to get people's attention. It's really hard to connect with people
Mhm.
now compared to before because we're just flooded with so much content. And even if people are saying, oh, I don't like the AI content, well, the algorithm is saying that you do because there is more and more of it, and there are accounts that are blowing up that are just AI, but at the same time, there's this need to be able to connect with people. And so I feel like if we can bring that into the front end of our businesses a little bit more and bring the humanness, bring the community in there, then that's going to be the thing that's going to help you to create a successful, profitable business on the back end. And for a long time to come, even if AI changes or platforms change or the way that we market to people changes, having that solid community foundation at the front end, I think that's key.
Do you find also that when it comes to the AI, because I know exactly what you're talking about, like I get a funny cat video and I'm like, oh no, that's an AI
It's
one.
not even real, but you like it, right? The amount of times I send stuff to my partner, he goes, "That's AI." I'm like, "Fuck, are you sure? Really? Are you certain?" He's like, "Yes, Sarah, that's AI." I'm like, "Oh, damn it."
You see that one where they had all the little bunny rabbits jumping on the trampoline and it was in the
Was
dark?
AI?
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, that is so wholesome. It is so cute. And then I found out it was AI and I'm like, oh my gosh, my heart's been broken.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, totally get what you're coming from. Do you find that with that AI stuff, it's kind of toying with that human stuff that you're talking about, where we make that connection because we're like, oh, we want to connect, but then we feel betrayed? Like, you know what I mean?
Uh, yes, I do know what you mean because I've like been part of conversations where people are like, well, I really like this, but should AI be able to do that? Especially with things like being creative, it's like music, for example. Like, should
Yeah,
AI be allowed to just make albums and make music and then there's
yeah,
no connection? And the truth is, though, that the AI is so good that it knows how to create things that we connect with.
yeah,
And
like
so we're
manipulators or
going,
something.
yeah, like we're gonna connect with it because it knows how to create cute bunny things that pull
Yes.
emotions. It knows how to create sounds that draw us in, right? So we're going to connect with it because it knows how to bring a what feels like a human element to it.
Mm.
But what I'm talking about is bringing community, like actual
Yes.
people together and community aspect into your business,
Yeah.
uh, versus like just in, the content that it might feel human, but it's
Yeah.
also
And it can feel a bit more special as well. Like back in my day, because trust me, darling, I'm a lot older than you. But back in my day, we didn't have social media. And when we found out someone played a guitar, we were like, oh, you play the guitar. Yeah, it was really, really special. And do you believe that, perhaps we've lost our path a little bit when it comes to that human connection?
there's been some studies done on this that's very interesting. So it showed that the people who live in smaller towns where they're a little bit more dependent on their neighbors and the people around them, and they have lower income levels, are actually happier with a higher sense of community, and they have better relationships. So they're better relationships because they need those relationships, whereas people who live in the city, they actually have access to everything. They have more money, they can pay people to do things for them, but they don't need their relationship. So there's a bit more of a disconnect because it's like
Yeah.
we're just like, well, we don't prioritize, oh, do you want to do that? Well, I'll come and do that with you. Instead, it's like, no, I'll just do what I want, like screw you type thing.
Yeah.
I'll do it, which I get it because I'm totally guilty of being like that. Like, oh, well, I'll just live my life, like YOLO, like you do you, boo, type
Yeah.
thing. There's been studies that show that people who prioritize those relationships, which does mean sometimes making a sacrifice or considering other people's needs instead of just like you do you, those people are happier. So yeah, like I think if we can bring community into what we're doing, we all want a place to belong. We want a place to belong. We want a place to connect, but we want to do that with people who we feel like are like us, which means they have shared and common values and goals and aspirations. And if you're a business owner, you want to do it with other people aspiring to create business. And if you're an artist, you want to do it with other artists, right? And so if we can bring that into what we do in business as well, I think that that's going to be really powerful.
I absolutely love that, honestly. So, if you could offer the people listening to this one piece of advice, what it would be?
One piece of advice for business, for
Yeah, let's
figuring
go with
it
business. Why
out,
not?
or
Yeah, let's go with business.
okay, so recently I got to have lunch with Taylor Swift's old manager. So this was the manager that took her from being nobody, like he said her voice needed work when he met her, to the Grammys. And this
Wow.
was she did this in a very short period of time, right? Taylor's blown up very, very quickly, but she went from nobody to the Grammys, and he spoke about how she did that. And there was one thing that Taylor did that other artists didn't do, and that was that she was really, really obsessed with her people and getting to know her people and building relationships with them. So he said that they figured out if you could build relationships with your consumer better than anyone else, you can't not win. So Tay Tay did a 14-hour meet and greet just on her feet signing. She had her team go and find out who were her top fans, and then she personally picked out Christmas gifts, drove and flew to their houses all around the country, and
Yeah.
then personally delivered Christmas gifts to them. So my number one tip would be, how can you build relationships with your consumer better? How can you understand them better? How can you help create connection with them better? And it can be done at scale because she's proving that you can do it at scale. So it doesn't matter if you're brand new, if you're small, if you're bigger, if you're brand new, you have a competitive advantage, and that is that you can build relationships, and the deeper the connection, the higher the conversion, right? So we can do this at a small level or a big level. But that would be my tip, is go and look at how can you build better relationships with your consumer and how can you get to know them better.
Yeah, beautiful, lovely. So, thank you very much, Sarah Ann, for joining me here today. I think we're going to have some really big brain conversations at Australian Hypnosis Conference, and everybody watching this is going to
Excited.
connect with it and just go, you know what, Sarah's the way to go, and I love her work. So, thank you so much for having this conversation here with me today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, we'll catch you all at Australian Hypnosis Conference 2026. Bye bye.